Myanmar, welcome to Myanmar Today. I'm Henry Zin. Here are the latest news and reports. The first report is on Chinese President Xi Jinping's two-day visit to Myanmar. Next, on YRTA to prioritize bus transport development. For those who are interested in equestrian, here's a report for you on the Arts of Equestrianism. A story coverage on beneficial paper reading session read out at 48th Myanmar Health Research Congress. And the last report on growing e-commerce between China and Myanmar. We'll definitely get to the reports in a while, but before that, let's take a look at some local news. Commander-in-Chief of Defence Services, Senior General Myanmar Line, received patron of the militia force of the Pa'ot National Organization, Uaung Kam-ti, in Naypyidaw on Thursday. According to a press release of the Office of the Commander-in-Chief of Defence Services, the Senior General discussed preservation of the Muerokaku pagodas, which have been included in the list of tourist attractions of Myanmar. PNO's Militia Force Joint General Secretary U Ne Winton and members held talks on construction of a seed laboratory and hydropower generation in the Pa'ot region. Senior General Myanmar Line then presented gifts to Uaung Kam-ti and party. Myanmar Investment Commission approved 4 foreign investment permits and 17 endorsement process this week, amounted to over $310 million with 10,102 job opportunities. Secretary of Myanmar Investment Commission, Director General of Directorate of Investment and Company Administration, U Tan Sin Luin, highlighted the Sintic V-Power KY3 will operate a 100% foreign-owned investment in Chaopyu Township of Rakhine State, and the project will generate 658.8 million kilowatt-hours of electricity. 20% of the output will be distributed to the local people in Rakhine State, and the remaining 80% will be distributed to the national grid. Yangon Region Minister for Electricity, Industry and Transportation, Donnie Lajos, said e-ticketing machines have been installed on more than 2,500 buses with YBS lines for the rollout of the card payment system. She said although the machines have been installed on buses, the card payment system has not started yet, and preparations are underway. She said they will let the public use the card system after it has been fully tested. A pilot project will be held on a limited number of buses. That's all with the local news, and here's the first report on Myanmar Today. This year marks the 70th anniversary of diplomatic relationship between China and Myanmar. Chinese President Xi Jingping left Beijing Friday for a state visit to Naypyidaw, the capital city of Myanmar, to strengthen the relationship between the two countries. President Xi's two-day visit on January 17th and 18th comes at the invitation of Myanmar's President U Win Myint. This is President Xi's first overseas trip this year and the first visit to Myanmar by a Chinese president in 19 years. Our reporter Thora Wimbezon is in Naypyidaw right now and she'll bring us updates from the capital city on this state visit by the Chinese president.
Hello everyone, this is your reporter Thora reporting you from Naypyidaw. This year marked the 70th anniversary of diplomatic relationship between China and Myanmar, and today Chinese President Xi Jinping paid a visit to Naypyidaw, the capital city of Myanmar, to strengthen the relationship between the two countries. With the invitation of Union President U Win Myint, Chinese President Xi Jinping and the delegations group arrived today at noon around 1 p.m. to the airport. The Vice President U Myint welcomed the Chinese President and his delegations group at the Naypyidaw International Airport. The official announcements have said that the president visits will start with the welcoming ceremony, and later today, the Union President U Win Myint and the State Councillor Daw Aung San Suu Kyi will have meetings with Chinese President Xi Jinping to discuss about the relationship and the cooperation between the two countries. The reports have said that during this visit, the two countries will be discussing for signing some of the BRI projects during their discussions. And also in the announcement, it is said that there will be a dinner reception in later tonight. So the MI Radio team will be keep updating you with the latest news during the next hours. Thank you so much for listening.
That's a report on Chinese President Xi Jinping's two-day visit to Myanmar. Well, next we have a report on YRTA to prioritize bus transport development. The third anniversary of Yangon Region Transport Authority took place on Thursday. Yangon Region Chief Minister U Pyo-min, Regional Minister for Electricity, Industry, Road and Transportation and officials from Yangon Region Government and YRTA officials attended the ceremony. Akajo reports.
Regional Minister for Electricity, Industry, Road and Transportation said that the development of the bus transport will be prioritized for the next 5 years. This is because buses are and will be the main mode of transportation for the Yangon region, where about 2 million daily commuters use the buses. This was noted at the third anniversary event of the Yangon Region Transport Authority (YRTA) since the onset of the public transport sector reform. The event took place at the Sky Star Hotel in Yangon on Thursday. Yangon Region Chief Minister U Pyo-min, Regional Minister for Electricity, Industry, Road and Transportation Donny Lajo, and officials from Yangon Region Government and YRTA attended the ceremony. Awards are also given to the best bus services companies at the anniversary. Donny Lajo, Regional Minister for Electricity, Industry, Road and Transportation said,
YBS system started from January 16, 2017, and it turned 3 years. YUPT has 19 bus routes and 1,349 vehicles. YBS operator keeps the bus speed and the accidents under control, not only from the YRTA control center, but also from their private control center. The monitoring is being done. We are also aware that YUPT monitors systematically from their control center. In terms of development, we can see many commuters are enjoying the bus ride in a comfortable manner. Of course, the rush hour will be headache. We can completely claim the system is perfect, but it has made certain progress to big percentage. Now we have the bus stations where buses can be parked, and now the bus stops are starting to turn into smart facility. Moreover, the school bus is one of the great examples of government's efforts. Even though Yangon is one of the developed cities in Myanmar, urban population is not used to the habit of taking train for commute. Actually, trains are regarded as the main public transportation, means the international standard. In my opinion, we will have to depend on YBS for another decade, as we don't have a proper train network or the metro to meet the major transportation need.
Yangon Region Transport Authority's public transport transform has turned 3 years since its shift from Matata system. Currently operating with over 4,500 buses, YRTA claims that Yangon's main transportation system has achieved notable progress over the past 3 years. The areas that improvement can be measured include the number of new vehicles, the implementation of intelligent transportation system, and effort to privatize the YBS sector.
It might be a bit challenging to describe the achievement in percentage, but the achievement is there and it is a notable achievement. It is solid. The YBS has to do not only with Yangon region, its impact is on the whole country. The privatizations has also gained a good momentum. Of about 4,300 buses, over 3,000 are owned and managed by the private sector companies. It has been transformed into a system where the regulator, operator, and company's management work together to drive the system.
With closer operation with the Asia Stommer, the company which helps with the card payment system, the system is expected to come into full effect in 2020. YBS system started in 3 years back, and now the network is running with 100 bus lines transporting about 2 million commuters. It was learned that future plans following the third anniversary of YBS founding are being made in advance. These plans will be disseminated to the public soon. The commuters have to rely on bus service much more than train and ship in urban mass transport in Yangon. For these reasons, the YRTA prioritized Yangon Bus System Development Plan. It was learned that the JICA, in collaboration with YRTA, has laid down the plans until December in 2020.
That's a report on YRTA to prioritize bus transport development. Alright, it's time now to check on the weather forecast in Myanmar. There's plenty of sunshine in Yangon. Expect highest temperature of 34 degrees Celsius and the lowest of 16 degrees Celsius. And Naypyidaw's weather conditions are not so different from Yangon. There's also plenty of sunshine. Expect highest temperature of 33 degrees Celsius and the lowest of 11 degrees Celsius. It's a nice weather with plenty of sunshine in Mandalay. Expect highest temperature of 31 degrees Celsius and the lowest of 13 degrees Celsius. Well, we have another report coming up and then we'll check on the stocks and currency exchange rates. Our reporter David Tanner went to Harbin recently and he got a chance to visit the Myanmar International Equestrian College, which is located in the foreign language city of Harbin. He saw and learned the fundamentals of the Arts of Equestrianism from the instructors and the students of the college, and there's no denying that he wants to share his experience with us. Let's find out more about that here in this report.
Equestrianism, more often known as horse or horseback riding, includes the disciplines of riding, driving, or vaulting with horses. This broad description includes the use of horses for practical walking purposes, transportation, recreational activities, artistic or cultural exercises, and competitive sport. On my trip to Harbin, I got a chance to visit Myanmar International Equestrian College. We will hear out what this college is all about from Mr. Shida Jai, one of the instructor of this college.
This Myanmar International Equestrian College has opened since 2014 and have actively trained the students who are interested in the arts of horse riding. Now we have opened the college in two areas of Harbin and Heilongjiang. The first one is located at the 20th Street, and the second one, which we are here right now, is located in the foreign language city of Harbin.
Whether you are an experienced rider or a beginner, riding horses gives you significant health benefits, physical, psychological, and some say spiritual benefits. Riding horses has shown to help those suffering from depression. I have also asked the professional for what his perspective as well.
Riding horse requires the rider to use many muscles and muscle groups, in particular your core, which are abdomen and back, as well as your legs. For example, one way to collect your horse to slow it down is to sit up tall in the saddle, contract your abs, and slow your hip movement. Show jumpers and eventers use their core strength when jumping fences, mostly to sit up and steady the horse's pace in order to meet the jump correctly.
Horseback riding is a rewarding and fun sport, but aspects of it can be dangerous, given the strength, speed, height, and unpredictability of a horse. The safest way to learn to ride is with an experienced coach or a quiet school horse. An instructor can teach you safe riding skills like stopping and turning and how to cue for transitions between gaits. Instructors can stop bad habits before they start and prevent you from making dangerous mistakes that could cause injury to horse, rider, or onlooker. Instructor Mr. Shidazai also told MI Radio more about the safety tips when we were to first ride the horse.
Consider wearing a torso protecting safety vest. Check your girth before mounting. Check tech frequently for signs of wear and weakness, especially stirrup leathers. And learn to do an emergency or one ring stop. Learn how to safely fall. And this won't guarantee you won't get hurt, but you may learn how to avoid injury by rolling away from the horse. And learn to do an emergency dismount. Sometimes the safest strategy is to get off quickly. There's more tips than this, but these are one of the most important ones.
I have also interviewed one of the students from the college, Mr. Chan Yang Shu, for his experiences and perspective of learning how to ride horse.
因为马术这个运动就是。
This horse riding school and horse riding is really important for me. That horses are really cute and one of a kind creature, at least in my perspective. As the experience in this school is great, I felt greatly in love with horses here, and riding horse do wonders to my physical as well as mental health, which is amazing.
有这个比赛项目了，然后这面的话，我希望。
Reporter David Tanner reporting from Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on the arts of equestrianism. And now we have an information on currency rates from Myanmar's central bank. $1 is at 1,466 kyats. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 213 kyats. 1 euro is at 1,636 kyats. 1 pound sterling is at 1,914 kyats. 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,089 kyats. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 360 kyats. 1 Thai baht is at 48 kyats, and the Indian rupee is at 20 kyats. Gold is trading at $1,553. Silver is at $18, and Brent crude oil is at $58. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI went up 500 and it's at 11,500. MTSH went up 50 and it's at 3,900. MCB remains at 8,100. FPB is at 23,000. TMH is at 2,850. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. You can log on to our website at miradio.com.mm and catch many other great programs of MI Radio on the website. We're also running on 96.1 FM in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. Alternatively, you can download our app on both iOS and Android platforms. It's easy to search. Just type in Myanmar INTL Radio and you'll find the app. Download it on your devices so you can listen to our radio programs on the go. Stay with us as we bring you more reports on Myanmar Today. The 48th Myanmar Health Research Congress was held at Medical Research Department in Yangon from 13th to the 17th of January, with the aim of promoting healthcare services for the people by conducting medical research. The Health Research Congress highlights the situation of the occurrence of diseases every year. This year, medical experts from home and abroad get together and are collectively discussing health hazards to which the whole world will have to pay attention to and ways to address antimicrobial resistance, the global public health concern to humans, animals, and the environment. Zeman will tell us more.
The 48th Myanmar Health Research Congress is currently being held at the Medical Research Department in Yangon from 13th to 17th January with the aim of promoting healthcare services for the people by conducting medical research. The Health Research Congress highlights the situation of the occurrence of the diseases every year. This year, medical experts from home and abroad got together and are collectively discussing health hazards to which the whole world will have to pay attention and ways to address the antimicrobial resistance, the global public health concern to humans, animals, and environment. Professor Dr. Zod Danton, Director General of Department of Medical Research, said,
Medical progress has been faster compared to that of 20 years ago. Medical progress, of course, is running very fast and it's amazing. At such time, what we want to know and what we need to know have become more. To conduct researches requires asking for more budgets. 3 billion jets was allocated for medical researchers. The outcome of the medical research must be directly beneficial to the people. We want to work for the advantageous area. Therefore, direct benefits mean that the virus in chicken is active against microbes. Becoming tolerant to certain drugs means drugs can kill the virus. For instance, there may be 10 types of antiseptics in Myanmar. There may be 3 kinds of them available in Myanmar. Which is the most useful kind in Myanmar? 1 or 2? It's the most practical and it's an applied research. With the aim of conducting such applied researches, the government allocated a large sum of budget.
A total of 122 research papers and 102 research posters are on display at the 48th Myanmar Health Research Congress. Medical experts from home and abroad have been invited to discuss researches. There are 3 talks to medical experts as well. Medical drugs companies and drug shops displayed more than 30 booths at the Congress. Dr. Wim Moton, Director of Department of Medical Research, said,
Whatever public health or whatever treatment, there may be gap. What is the problem or the difficulty? Is it required to know the way to address the problem? It means a research. Research findings are applied in the implementation of practical healthcare services. Some findings in the implementation of practical healthcare services. Some findings need to know at once. For instance, this virus becomes tolerant to drugs. Which drug should be used? It can be applied immediately. Some are for long-term plan in providing healthcare services. For instance, the patient has to wait long. Why is the waiting time long? How is it to be addressed? Some matters have to be addressed by setting up plans to make it known to the whole country. These are ways of research findings.
With regard to the Best Research Paper, Basic Health Research Award, Applied Health Research Award, Health System Research Award, and a Poster Award were given away. The Youth Researcher Award was also presented. The Youth Researcher Award includes 3 kinds: Basic Health Research Award, Applied Health Research Award, and Health System Research Award. 7 kinds of award will be presented. The cash prize for the first award is 1 million kyats, the second 800,000 kyats, and the third 600,000 kyats. The first, second, and third prizes for each kind of award will also be given. Doi Yadanakain, Staff Officer of Food and Drug Administration of Ayawari Region, said,
A research was carried out as to drinking water safety among rural people in the Tabaung Ayawari region. The reason the research carried out there is because of flood occurrences in the rainy season every year. The wells and pumps in some villages are in flood. Our Delta region has to pay attention to arsenic. Our research is aimed at increasing public awareness of drinking water safety and health education.
That's a report on beneficial paper reading session read out at 48th Myanmar Health Research Congress. And here's the last report on growing e-commerce between China and Myanmar. Online shopping services in Myanmar have boomed, and most of the local sellers order and import goods from China. The goods made in China are cheaper and quality is fair. Along with the implementing of Belt and Road Initiative, it is hoped that the transportation will become smoother and secure for more convenient e-commerce between the two countries.
With the increased accessibility of internet, e-commerce becomes a boom in the worldwide. The shoppers browse the goods they want online and order from different sellers. The e-commerce develops not only within the region but also across the world. U Elui, member of NLD Economics Committee, explained why e-commerce becomes important among the countries.
E-commerce kaနိုင်ငံတကာမှာဈေးစကားတက်တာတယ်နော်လင်းလင်းမြတ်ရှိတယ်စည်ရင်းစရာတိတိကျကျရှာဖွေနိုင်တယ်
Internationally, e-commerce costs less expenses, saves time and provides exact data and information of the goods. Along the border with the neighboring countries, including China, India, and Thailand, they should have procedures for the legal and systematic trade for e-commerce. The government has to take advantage of developing digital economy.
China is one of the important countries that imported the goods to Myanmar, which are ordered for online shopping for the local sale.
တရုတ်နိုင်ငံရဲ့ e-commerce က online shopping ကတော်တော်ကြီးထွားနေတယ်
Comparing with other countries, e-commerce in China is quite growing. From many companies providing e-commerce in China, there are many boxes packaging the goods are entering across the border. There is the noticeable fact that some goods imported legally from China sometimes become illegal in a region. The authorities from two sides must take into account on this issue. Therefore, there are discussions conducted and MOUs signed for legalizing e-commerce. It is also informed that China is also to help to solve this issue by establishing staging and check-in point for e-commerce and by upgrading the facilities.
Mai Pyu-han, founder of Jasmine Su Online Shopping, shared her experience of ordering goods from China for local online shopping.
တရုတ်ပစ္စည်းတွေရဲ့ဒီဘက်မှာဝယ်လို့အားတော့များတယ်။များတယ်ဆိုပေမဲ့သူအဓိကများတယ်ဆိုတဲ့အကြောင်းရင်းอ่ะပေါ့နော်။တရုတ်ပြည်ဘက်ကပစ္စည်းတွေကတက်တာတယ်
The demand for Chinese goods here is high because of its cheap price. There is much online shopping founded here in Myanmar because e-commerce becomes a bomb. Comparing with other countries' goods made in China are more affordable for us. The quality depends on what you choose. When I order the goods from China, I carefully observe the web of the suppliers who run the online shopping in China to check the quality of the goods I'm going to buy. In China, e-commerce is popular and most of the people openly write reviews of their experience of online shopping on the webpage of the seller. It's helpful for me because I can explain the quality of the goods to my customer here, referring to the reviews of the Chinese people.
At present, China is implementing Belt and Road Initiative, and Myanmar has signed the MOUs for the cooperation. By building essential infrastructure, it is to gear up the trades among the countries included in the project.
ဒေသကြီးတစ်ခုလုံးရဲ့ဖွံ့ဖြိုးတိုးတက်ဖို့ပေါ့နော်ဒေသကြီးတစ်ခုလုံးရဲ့ infrastructure ကို combine လုပ်လိုက်တာလို့ပဲ
Belt and Road Initiative is connecting infrastructure which will make transportation smooth and secure. That will lead to the ease of doing business for both government and private owners.
Chinese goods are widely used across the world because of its cheaper price and good quality. After implementing the Belt and Road Initiative, which connects among the countries, I assume that there will be more opportunities for trade in Myanmar, and more people will be employed. In our country, Mandalay is the center. At the present, most of the Chinese goods are imported to Mandalay. After Belt and Road Initiative, goods from India, China, and Thailand will be imported to Mandalay, and it will become a vital center for trade in Myanmar.
As a private online shopping owner, Mai Pyu-han expressed her hope for more convenient e-commerce that will be benefited from the better transportation Belt and Road Initiative is to bring.
အမားတော့လမ်းကြောင်းမြန်ရင်တော့ပို့ပြောတယ်။ဘာဖြစ်လို့လဲဆိုတော့တစ်ခါကကြလို့ရှင်လမ်းကြောင်းကြမ်းကြာမှုအတွက်နဲ့
I'll be happy if the transportation becomes smooth. Sometimes because of the late arrival, I have to apologize to my customers. The longer it takes to deliver from China to Myanmar across the border, the longer it takes to deliver locally from the border area. The customers will not be satisfied if the goods they order arrive later than the expected waiting time. That's why I would say that smooth and secure transportation is important to import the goods for our online shopping services.
That's all about how e-commerce is growing between China and Myanmar.
That's all the reports on Myanmar today. Amid the tensions that's going on in the world, it's time to take a turn to some international news and find out what's happening around the world. The historic impeachment trial of Donald Trump opened Thursday in the U.S. Senate as lawmakers took a solemn oath to be impartial in deciding whether to force the 45th U.S. president out of office. Earlier in the day, in a deeply symbolic moment, the two articles of impeachment charging Trump with abuse of power and obstruction of Congress were read out on the Senate floor. Adam Schiff, the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, who will serve as lead prosecutor for the trial, read the charges accusing Trump of high crimes and misdemeanors. Trump has ridiculed the impeachment process for months, and he responded to the opening of the trial by once more branding it a hoax. The Democratic-controlled House, in an overwhelmingly partisan vote, impeached Trump on December 18th over its dealings with Ukraine and subsequent efforts to obstruct the investigation into the affair. Impeachment rules require a 2/3 Senate majority to convict and remove a president, and Trump's acquittal is widely expected in the Republican-dominated Senate. The Associated Press reports the government of the 5 nations who lost citizens after Iran shot down a Ukrainian airliner demanded that Tehran accept full responsibility and pay compensation to the victims' families. After a meeting in London, the foreign ministers for Canada, the UK, Afghanistan, Sweden, and Ukraine pressed Iran for a thorough, independent, and transparent international investigation and called for a criminal probe and impartial judicial proceedings against those responsible for downing the plane. All 176 people on board the Ukraine International Airlines aircraft died when it was hit by ballistic missiles after taking off from Tehran's Imam Khomeini International Airport on January 8th. The victims included 57 Canadian citizens, 11 Ukrainians, 17 Swedish, 4 Afghan, and 4 British citizens, as well as Iranians. Initially, Iran blamed a technical problem for the plane crash before acknowledging its Revolutionary Guard had accidentally brought down the plane. Well, that's a wrap, and thanks for joining me on Myanmar Today. I'm Henry Zin. Have a good weekend, everyone. I'll see you again next week. Goodbye now.